Alright, so today we got backyard episode number 1 with me, of course, Patrick. And today I wanted to share a video. I wanted to talk about UFC 299. Happened this past weekend. Sean O'Malley, Chito Vera. Also happened this weekend was Days End Boxing, Saturday night. Francis Ngannou versus Anthony Joshua. I was very excited about that fight. I'm going to talk about that fight too. So, I do other videos on my YouTube. I do videos of my truck. I'm going to start doing some other reviews. I got some other things that people are telling me I should video. But one of my main things is going to be I want to talk about fighting. I'm a huge follower of the UFC. I have a couple friends that are huge followers of the UFC. But I don't really get to talk about it on the daily because those friends aren't around me. I don't work with them. So when there are real big cards coming up, me and my friends, me and my cousins will split the pay-per-view costs, get together and watch it, be an ordeal. So I wanted to come on here and talk to y'all about it because I love watching videos. I'm a huge follower of Joe Rogan, people like that talk about the fighting, Fight Companion, stuff like that. And later I plan on getting some reaction videos, doing some cool shit like that. So this weekend was Sean O'Malley and Chito Vera, which I thought was a great fight. We'll get to that later. But Saturday night, the Anthony Joshua and Francis Ngannou fight, I really expected more out of Francis Ngannou, but in reality, I don't know why that fight with Tyson went that way. I think Tyson Fury severely overlooked Francis Ngannou. I don't think he was at all worried about him. I don't think he was worried about the knockout power because he already fought Deontay Wilder. And if you've seen those 3 Deontay Wilder fights, it was insane. The guy can take an hellacious hit and get up and keep fighting. So I think he thought since he withstood all of Deontay Wilder's punches, I don't think he was worried about Francis Ngannou. But we seen in that fight, he got clipped a couple times and he got dropped with a quick, short left hook. Put Tyson on his ass, and you remember seeing the look in his eye. He was shook. That hit really hit him. But I expected him to show better boxing skills. He was so predictable in the Anthony Joshua fight. It was a very short fight. Anthony Joshua knew exactly what to do. Well, got the neighbor's cat creeping up in the video. Hey, Tabitha. I'm trying to make a video here. You. Beside that, I really expected more of Francis. As we know, it was a really short fight. It was a short but sweet fight. It was sweet. I'm not mad that Anthony Joshua won. I'm not mad that Francis lost. I admire them both. I think they're both great heavyweight fighters. And I was very excited for the fight. I was very excited. I would like to see what would happen with Anthony if he felt Francis's power. But he was just too good for it to get to that point. So we didn't get to see that. It was a great knockout. It was a great knockout. He knocked him out cold. He flatlined him. And then we get to UFC 299. That was this Sunday. And on the main card, we had Petr Yan versus Song Yadong. I'm not a huge follower of Song Yadong. I don't know his most recent fight. I don't know how well he is. But Petr Yan, has recently fell off the throne after the Sterling fight where he got DQ'd, lost the title. The Sean O'Malley fight, which I watched that fight on pay-per-view, and at the end of the fight, being a fan, I thought Petr Yan won. I really did. And as did my friend that was watching it with me. But after reading a couple things that people said, looking at scorecards and all this, we grew to understand that Sean O'Malley won off of damage. He got taken down, he got controlled a little bit, but he was doing so much damage, and he was doing a lot of damage from the bottom. And that damage really won him that fight because Petr had the damage on his face, and Sean, most of the blood he had on him was Petr's. But we've seen Petr Yan kind of fall down the chain here. And on this one, Song Yadong, I don't know very well. I expected a dominant performance from Petr Yan. And first round, he was kind of slouchy. I'm not gonna lie. It took him a minute to get up, but it seemed like after the first round, after he took a couple licks, it seemed like that second round he woke up. And I think he come back. He got the second and third round to win the unanimous decision. So that's good for him. I have no clue what they'll do with him next. I don't know where they'll send him next. He's obviously got to do a couple more things before he can get back in the title picture. So we'll see what happens with Petr Yan. And then we get to the Gilbert Burns and y'all forgive me, the Madalena fight. And this fight I didn't pay the closest attention to, but it was kind of sad for me to see Gilbert go out on his shield like that. It was one hell of a knee, and he took it like a champ. But in the end, the ground and pound was too much for him, and he took the L. You know, we seen the emotional videos of him after the fight. He took it kind of hard, but you know, Gilbert's been at the top of the heat. We all remember when he fought Kamaru Usman, his one-time best friend. So he's kind of working his way down. I mean, that fight with Masvidal wasn't all there, so it wasn't a hugely impressive fight for Gilbert, in my opinion. But Gilbert took that L tonight, and before he took that knee, I think he looked really good. I don't know where he'll go next. I really don't have a clue where they'll send Gilbert Burns next. I don't know what his next shot would be. He's got a long way to go to get back up in that title picture. I don't think that he's got that much time left in him. He's getting on up there in age. I don't think he's got that much time left to be able to build all the way back up. But I don't want to see him go out completely like that. I want him to go out on a win. I want him to go out on his terms. So we'll see where Gilbert Burns goes. He fought good up until he took that knee, and nobody was going to take a knee like that and brush it off. So props to him. And then this was a very controversial fight, in my opinion. The Kevin Holland versus MVP fight, Michael Venom Page. I expected some crazy shit. I mean, I expected some cartwheels. I mean, roundhouse kicks. I expected some crazy shit. I wasn't too impressed. I know MVP got the win, but I wasn't too impressed with neither one of them. I remember the spinning elbows and all that shit he did. I remember it. Was it cool? Yes. He didn't really ever seem to hurt Kevin Holland at all. They just kept going. I would have loved to see him go to the ground, wrestle a bunch, and see what happened, see if he had any kind of ground game. But for a debut fight against Kevin Holland is very game. He's ready to go. So it was a good fight. I did expect more. I expected more crazy shit from Kevin Holland. I think Kevin Holland took the fight a little too serious, and he kind of was acting himself. I like it when Kevin Holland is loose, playing, talking, punching. But he took the fight real serious, which is never a bad thing. But Kevin Holland just, he's always real free, loose. He bounces, he talks, shit like that, and he mixes it up a lot. And they just didn't seem to mix it up and down in this fight. So, all in all, it was a good fight. I expected a little more, but hats off to MVP. He debuted in the UFC, made a performance against Kevin Holland, and we'll see where he goes from there. That'll be real interesting. See what they do with Kevin. And then we got the co-main. We got Dustin Poirier and Benoit Saint Denis. Now, this fight had me on my toes the whole time, and I know what y'all are thinking. It's mainly because Dustin Poirier would not stop going for that guillotine. And I think it's just one of his lifelong dreams to get a guillotine submission. He's tried it on everybody. He did it to Khabib. He tried it with Charles Oliveira. Didn't work out with Charles. He never really locked it in. He locked it in on Saint Denis this weekend. I think he locked it in a couple times. I just think Saint Denis got out of it really well. The first time he got it in, he rolled over him and broke the grip. But he was able to get out of it every time. But as that fight etched on, Dustin was giving him the hands, man. We all know that Dustin Poirier is one of the greatest lightweights that has never held a belt. except for the interim lightweight belt. But he has not been a champion. And it was very sad to see him lose to Justin Gaethje because I think he was winning that fight. But that's how the cards play out in UFC. You never know. You get to the last second, boom, that's it. So to see him start clipping Saint Denis, and I like Saint Denis. He was on a 5-fight win streak, man. He was doing good guy. Very well built, very skilled, good ground game, as we've seen this weekend with Poirier. But, man, Poirier started landing those left and right hooks right on his chin, the straight left that got him. Man, it was a good fight. He clipped him, went for the guillotine, but he knew that Saint Denis was hurt, so he didn't want to waste all of his time and energy on that guillotine. So he let go of it and kept striking. He clipped him with a right hook. Saint Denis went down, hit him with a hammer fist, and that was all she wrote. So with Dustin, I know he's calling for a title shot. Like, he wants a title shot. I know he called out Islam Makhachev, but I think him calling out Islam Makhachev was a long shot because of Islam's resume, and he's got bigger fish right now. Charles Oliveira. I think Volkanovski is obviously out of the lightweight picture, but I think there's a couple other people right now that'd be better for Islam Makhachev than Dustin Poirier. So it'll be entertaining where they go with him because he just got a title shot for the BMF belt and he lost it to Justin Gaethje. So it'll be entertaining to see where they go with Dustin right now. It's crazy to say. I would love to see a Dustin Poirier and Michael Chandler go again in a rematch for something like a number one contenders match. I would love that. Or I'd love to see Michael Chandler get another win and go against Justin Gaethje in a rematch for the BMF belt. I always love seeing Michael Chandler fight. He tends to gas out pretty quick, but all in all, he calls himself the most entertaining lightweight on the planet, and he's up there, man. He's up there. He's very entertaining. He puts on a show. I mean, he don't leave nothing left in there, man. But, he's sticking around waiting for this Conor fight, and I just don't know if it's going to happen. I don't know if Conor's going to come back, Conor's on the edge. He's making movies. He's got other endorsements. He's doing other stuff. So if he came back and fought Michael Chandler at 180, 185, whatever, catch weight, I think it'd be huge because I think both of them would be huge. I mean, I don't know if y'all have seen pictures or videos of Conor, but he is absolutely jacked. And we all know Michael Chandler weighs in, and when he shows up to fight, I mean, he's jacked. He's rehydrated. He's a big dude, man. So seeing those two fight at a catch weight would be some serious shit. I'd love to see it. But I just don't think it's going to happen. I think Michael Chandler is wasting too much time waiting on Conor to come back when I think he could squeeze a fight in right now, soon, in the next 3 to 4 months. And if he squeezed in a good fight with Poirier or with Gaethje and he wins either one of those fights, I think it severely hypes up the Conor McGregor fight. I think it makes it a way bigger deal. If he wins the BMF belt, it could be for the BMF belt. They'll give Conor a BMF title shot. If he beats Dustin, I mean, that would be a huge comeback for him because Dustin beat him pretty handily in the first fight. So that'd be a very entertaining rematch, in my opinion. Maybe he could do better. So I think a win over either one of those guys would seriously hype up the Conor and Michael Chandler fight, which I would love to see, man. Those guys are beefy. Them guys are just up there, man. I think they'd be a very, very entertaining fight. And Conor's going to get any fight he wants to come back to. So, but back to it, I'm very, very happy Dustin Poirier got that. I mean, when he clipped Saint Denis this weekend with that right hook, I mean, I jumped up off the couch. I was like, holy shit, I think that was a big win for him. I think we all know that whether he's got a championship or not, Dustin Poirier is the real fucking deal. He's kind of a benchmark in the lightweight division. And we're going to see where they go with him, I already said where I'd like to see him go. I will always watch Dustin Poirier fight. So I'm very excited to see where he goes after this knockout over Saint Denis. And the main event, Sean O'Malley and Marlon Chito Vera. I was on my heels the whole fight. I mean, I could barely sit down. Between almost dozing off to the action in that fight. I mean, I did expect kind of a knockout from Sean O'Malley. I'm a huge Sean O'Malley fan, and I think that first fight with Cheeto was kind of bullshit because the way he clipped him in the knee and cut off that nerve, it's a victory on his record, I think. I don't know if they ever went back and changed it or not, but I think it's a victory on his record. But he didn't really beat him, and I understand where Sean is on that. He's upset, shit like that. But, man, that shit happens in the UFC, man. You got knees, you got shins, you got feet, elbows. You got shit coming from everywhere, man. Anything can happen. But I don't think it was a justifiable win, so I was very hyped up for this fight with O'Malley and Vera, the rematch too. And I think Sean O'Malley put on a masterclass. I think he completely outstruck Cheeto Vera. I think he outclassed him completely. And the scorecards were ridiculous. I mean, once we got into the third, fourth, and fifth round, not much the third. Now, I can't remember if it was the second or third round, but Cheeto Vera ate a knee. Man, he ate a knee from Sean. A good knee. Good. I mean, that fucking Cheeto hair was flying everywhere. I mean, he hit a good knee. And, man, he took that shit and ran with it. I mean, I thought the fight was over. I jumped up. I thought he was about to put the hands on him real quick and he was going to fall. I thought that was it. But, damn, Cheeto stuck in there, man. He dogged it out, man. He is a dog. Because the fourth and fifth round for sure, maybe a little bit in the third. I don't think so. But during the fourth and fifth round, man, Cheeto just turned into a dog. He knew he was down 3 rounds. He knew he was already down 3 rounds. And the only way he could land on Sean or get anything on Sean was he had to just go in swinging with it, just blind swinging. And he started to land a little bit, and it kind of did worry me just a little bit because Cheeto has some kind of power. And it don't take a whole lot. It just takes hitting him on the perfect spot, And I kind of got a little worried. But even if Sean started to slack up in the last 2 rounds, the fight was still obviously his because of all the damage he did in the first 3 rounds and all the work he did. I mean, he just outstruck Cheeto by a mile. I mean, it was flawless. And those 4th and 5th rounds, man, they got nasty. Cheeto got nasty, man. He just turned into a scrapper. And he started to land a little bit, but it obviously wasn't enough. I mean, Sean O'Malley is the real deal. He is a master striker, and I am so ready to see where he goes next. We all know that, damn cats. We all know he called out Ilia Topuria, who just slept the king, Alexander Volkanovski. He just slept him with a right hook in their title fight a couple weeks back. That broke my heart. Huge Volkanovski fan. I like Topuria too, so I wasn't too one-sided in that fight, but it did hurt to see Volk go down like that. So we know Sean O'Malley is calling out Ilia Topuria. Now, I don't know where that's going to go because Volkanovski has already spoke up and said, if you're going to get that match in, you need to hurry up and get it in now because Volk is going to take a little bit of time off, not too much, but he's going to take a little bit of time off to recover. He's got 2 KOs in a row. He's going to take some time to recover, but he's already been guaranteed that his first fight back will be for the title. And if it's still Ilia Topuria, it will be a fight against Ilia Topuria. So, I would love to see that fight again, too. I think that fight was a masterpiece. It was beautiful. So, I just don't foresee Sean getting that fight because Merab, I always butcher his last name. You gotta forgive me. But I'm not even going to say it. Y'all are going to make fun of me. But Merab just beat Henry Cejudo pretty handily. I mean, I think he did a very good job. He's obviously next in line. I think Merab is very good. Merab is definitely got really good wrestling, which I worry about with Sean O'Malley because, he's a tall, lanky striker. I mean, he is a sniper. Look at what he did to Aljamain Sterling. He's an absolute sniper. I think he is such the real deal. And what he did to Cheeto just solidified that in every way. So, I seen a matchmake thing earlier that was talking about Ilia Topuria, Merab, and Corey Sandhagen. I think there's a possibility that Corey Sandhagen is getting close to a fight with Sean, But I think there are other fights that are better for Sean right now than Corey Sandhagen. I think the fight with Merab is the fight that should happen. Excuse me. I think the Sean O'Malley and Merab should 100% happen. I think Merab is the deserving number one contender. He deserves that shot. If not Merab, I would love to see Sean O'Malley and Ilia Topuria. Now, I would hate to see Ilia Topuria lose the belt to Sean O'Malley because I really want to see Volkanovski and Ilia Topuria too. I want to see if Volkanovski can come in and correct this, or if that drive, that championship drive is gone, which I don't think it is, because anyone can take a shot and go down. That's not the end of your career. But Volk's had 2 knockouts in a row now, so that's going to be interesting to see how he comes back. He needs to take time. He needs to heal. He needs to spend time with his family. He needs to cook some good food. He needs to rest and train hard. So that is going to be interesting. I believe the next fight should be Sean O'Malley and Merab. Like I said, I think Merab deserves that number one title shot. So we're going to see where all this goes. I'm going to try to keep making videos on a regular basis. This was my first shot, making a little UFC review video with the addition of Francis Ngannou and Anthony Joshua. I plan on making more videos like this. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. The backyard episode is coming to you. I'm here to talk about everything. Like I said, I got videos of my truck. I got the typical redneck truck, so everybody loves that every now and then. I really want to include a bunch of this fighting in there. I'm definitely going to do fight reviews, fight recaps. I would love to eventually do compilation videos of our fight reactions. So that'd be something that I'd really love to get into, see how it does on the channel. So, yep, I think this concludes the first backyard episode with your boy Patrick. I thank y'all for listening. Please like and subscribe. I'll talk to y'all later.